And welcome back to the Crypto Talk program. I'm seeing again the world's biggest companies. They're all coming together. It was almost like all these crypto companies, they're working separately. The different banks, they're all separate and everything for all these years. 5 years I've been watching this news. Then all of a sudden now, what I'm noticing the past 3 months, well, ever since Trump got elected, but President Trump, I'm seeing now like cryptos working with each other more, way more. I'm seeing crypto companies working together, joining these multinational corporations like payment companies like PayPal and so forth. They're now working with 3-4 crypto companies all at once. Then PayPal links up with Visa. See what I mean? Like I'm seeing like everything is coming together. This is what today's show is going to be about. I want you to see, and I've been telling you for years, good cryptos work together to get stuff done. We can see now Ripple's linking up with everybody. You got Stellar linking up with everybody. You got the XLR, you got the All Bridge. These are the bridges that allow the Ethereum. These cryptos are merging together with the banks. They're forming a big network. That's how you get rich. This is the news I want to show you today. What I'm seeing, somebody wrote comment. Thank you, Sean. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to say nothing on the show. Just we're trying to destroy the algorithm. And, let's see if my TikTok channel is still around. I posted a video on TikTok about Tether and Bitcoin, just the same that I posted here. And they're like, scams and frauds, violation. I'm like, are you fucking high? They got to be higher than me. Let me see if they killed the channel again. Appeal not approved. We reviewed your appeal and found that your video violates community guidelines. Wow, how fucking stupid is that? TikTok is so fucking retarded. They're like totally butt kissing Tether and shit. Oh my God, this is crazy. Wow. Unbelievable. Anyhow, let me see who are the first 5 people here today. Brian Naylor. See, I'll tell you what, like on TikTok, here's how you know something. You can have all these conspiracies and have aliens and whatever kind of weirdo shit, and none of that gets banned. That's how you know on TikTok. Like if people like me get repeatedly kicked off for just going over simple news, it's amazing how it's like all I do is report crypto news and I get kicked off of TikTok probably like 8 times already. And I got to start a whole brand new channel and stuff. Same thing with like Facebook and shit. It's amazing. Alrighty, first 5 people. Brian Naylor, Thomas Cox, Brian Edwards, Terrence McNamara, and A.J. Singh. Show me the money. Let's see. Here we got Preston Reed. Frito says, my guess is when institutions start buying, they're going to stop the normies from buying Ripple, but now before it's too late. So, yeah, what they'll do is shut down all the exchanges. I've been telling you this since about 5 years ago. At first, you'll have 100 exchanges, right? Anywhere in the world, you can choose between 100 exchanges. And in the end, you'll have 10. And who will own those 10? Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, Santander, Bank of America, Mizuho Bank, Itua, Unibanco, all the same players that are in power right now, they will get control over crypto. They will have a mastery of how to run it, and then they will start making the levels so high, the standards will be so high to be able to sell crypto that exchanges will have to close down. That's how all this goes. The banks take over, and then that crypto that's 5 cents right now will be like $5,000, and you won't be able to buy 10,000 cryptos at once. You'll be able to buy one, because one crypto will run you like $5,000 or something, right? You'll see. Just like that. You're like, damn, Crypto Hawk, 5 years ago, you're saying this shit. Exactly, man. These people are not difficult to figure out. I don't know how they go about doing certain things. They'll do it with legislation by the laws. Oh, and if you want to have a crypto exchange, you're going to have to do this, that, and the other. And basically, you got to have $100 million to start a crypto exchange. That's how they're going to do it. So if a business doesn't have like $500 million or $500 million or $1 billion, they'll keep raise it up, to the point where nobody can sell crypto because you got to have $1 billion to start a business. That's how it'll be done. Michael W gave 5 people memberships. That is Rolando Cruz got another one. Bloopity Blop got another free membership. RU got a free membership from Michael W. Autumn 77. Brian Harty got a membership from Michael W. All right. Right before I start the show, my name's Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor at all. Before every show, I definitely shoot up heroin, about 3 ounces of heroin. Let's see, snort about 3 lines of cocaine, about the size of my pinky. Let's see, what else? I pop some roofies, smoke some angel dust, and snort a little methamphetamine. Why not? Give myself a little boost. And then right here, I got my little thermos with Bacardi 151. I already drank one. This is my second one. I'm going on number 2. All right. Lastly, those are rookie number. Oh, my God. I want some angel dust. Comment of comments. And, okay, that's just funny. Focus. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. If you're somebody that doesn't give any money, that's okay. What I want you to do is this. Here's what you can do to help get this channel out so I can reach more poor people that don't have any money not to give. How about that? Make a deal with you. Like every show, type in the word comment in the top chat. Save this episode to your favorites on YouTube. Share the video to yourself. And lastly, get like 10 videos that last an hour. Put them in like a big old loop. Let them run. Turn the volume off. That's all I ask, okay? I would greatly appreciate that. All of these things will help this channel. And it is helping. It's totally helping. I can look at my numbers and I'm like, oh. And then I'm able to reach people. I'm now getting people on the channel like, oh, there you are, Crypto Hawk. So it's working. I want to encourage you each time I make a show to do that. It's each one of you. I mean, hell, if I got 3,000 people that watch a show, if 10 people donate, I could have 22,000 people doing that shit that I just said. Okay. That would greatly help the channel. Karma, yin and the yang, helping people, let's be part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. All the selfishness and greed in the world. When you do these things to the channel, it helps my channel reach other people that need to hear what this channel has to say. Now, let's get going here. There's Michael David said, still on the red and greens. I took mine this morning. The turmeric, I've been kind of forgetting that. The multi-collagen, I take that. Pretty good stuff, he says. Absolutely. I try to take it each day. I might miss 1 day a week or something or 2-ish. But, hey, if you're taking that shit 5 days a week, you're good to go. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about the biggest corporations in the world. Crypto Hulk, what are the biggest corporations in the world doing with crypto? Because the news media has got me all scared. And, the prices of crypto are down. And it's just, I don't think crypto is going to do anything. Here's a company called Clear Token. And what they're trying to do is get into securities and crypto and trading globally and making billions of dollars, okay? They are getting all set up. Now, I don't care what the news says. I don't care what the price is. What I do for you is I look at the news and I'm like, what are these multi-million-dollar companies? What are these multi-billion-dollar companies doing? And what do Crypto Hulk fans need to know from these articles? That's what I'm trying to show you. That's why, like when I have my custody of my crypto, I want to be with Caleb and Brown, in with the banks, right? So I'm showing you in this article, what are the banks doing, okay? We're not going to just read about the banks. We're going to try to imitate or act like or position ourselves just like a bank. So when I talk about Caleb and Brown, I've worked it into my show because that's part of the strategy, to have your crypto in custody, just like right next to the bank. I look over on my right, maybe BNY Mellon is on my right with custody at Caleb and Brown. I mean, the Fireblocks proprietary solution they have for custody. I look on my left, you might have another bank right there. Over there is an investment company. See, I'm trying to watch. What I'm trying to show you guys is watch what the banks are doing. Now, I have a hardware wallet. I do. I've got my XRP in it, my VeChain, and that's it. I'm not putting any more in. I've been utilizing Caleb and Brown's Fireblocks custody, and I'm just buying from them because I'm reading about the banks. I want to start doing what the banks are doing for custody. The banks are not using hardware wallets, okay? They're utilizing institutional custody. And what that is kind of like this. I'll break it down really simple. Take your hardware wallet, cut it into 4 parts, send it 4 different places on the planet. Now, if someone busts in and they got 1/4 of your hardware wallet, they ain't taking your shit. They've got to find parts 2, 3, and 4, and then put them all together and then do it. See, that's the difference between a regular hardware wallet and a Fireblocks institutional custody. That's why 2,000 banks and institutions use Fireblocks, just for that reason right there. Okay, let me check some quick comments, and we'll start with this article here. Yeah, Hedera's in the news so much, man. Oh, geez. HBAR is... let me check real quick here. 12 crypto task force. Let's see. Had to get more Hedera, says Michael David. All right. Mark is late. Up. Don't tell the teacher. Okay, here we go. So we got Clear Token. Now, Clear Token is a London-based startup that originally aimed to become a central counterparty for the institutional digital asset trading. Okay, I'm not going to break all this down because the whole world of trading and securities and stuff, that's not my area of specialty. So what I'm going to do is break this article down into only the parts that we need to understand. What I'm showing you here is some of the biggest financial institutions / banks of the world are getting into cryptocurrency and securities trading. Get it? What the difference is, it's on a blockchain. So what we're talking about here is companies that are going to get real world assets, put them into a crypto form. That's called tokenization. These big banks are working with financial institutions that either custody crypto, help trade crypto and securities for liquidity and moving it all around the world. And 2 of those companies, for instance, one is called Nomura. Laser Digital. That's a Ripple customer from like day one. Okay. Well, year 2 or something like that. And the next one is Zodia Custody. That comes from Standard Chartered Bank. Okay. So some of the biggest, and both of those are Ripple partners already. Zodia Custody uses Ripple's Medico. Now it's called Ripple Custody. But it used to be Medico, and that was a Swiss company that the Germans bought, and that it's got to be a 3-letter agency deal in there. I'm not getting into that because the channel's going to start glitching and shit. So that's what we got going on is Nomura and Zodia Custody are getting mixed up in crypto and securities trading. And let me see in this article here. If we go to right here, let me show you the evidence. Here's Nomura. I'm not going to read this article. I read it off in the past. I want you to see right here where Ripple fits in for payments. Here's the title. Nomura and Ripple partner SBI Holdings support XRP. So what we got here is now SBI Holdings is in Japan. And they've been a Ripple partner literally from like 2014, like day one Ripple, pretty much, okay? And Nomura is working very closely with SBI and using their technology, which is Ripple. So Nomura may not be a direct Ripple partner, just like Visa. Visa bought Currency Cloud and Earthport for about $1.5 billion. Visa maybe hasn't officially announced being a Ripple partner. You don't need to be. Ripple's open sourced, right? So you can build on their ledger. So what Visa just did is bought 2 companies. Bam, now they're rolling XRP. So Nomura is kind of doing the same thing that Visa's doing. They link up with SBI. Bam, now they're partnerships. Now they can use all the Ripple software and probably don't have to pay. All right. So here we got these 2 are Ripple partners in this whole article that we're talking about. Now here's Zodia Custody. I want you to see what's going on. Everything is starting to integrate together. It's all coming together. Click on that right there. What's the title of this article? And when was it? Almost 2 years ago. It's a year and a half ago. The title is Standard Chartered Bank backed Zodia Custody joins Ripple, and they're using Medico, just like I said. So Standard Chartered is using Ripple to hold on to stocks, bonds, and custody, stuff like that. Now, if we go right here, back to the article again, the article, it's Clear Token. Let's go down to the 7th paragraph. The 7th paragraph starts talking about, okay, so we're dealing with cryptocurrency, trading it, exchanging it. We're dealing with securities, trading it around the world, settling. Now this article talks about the 6 digital exchange. For those that don't know, this is a real stock exchange in Switzerland for probably the past 7 years that runs on the XDC crypto, okay? It utilizes the R3 Corda blockchain, which has Ripple built into it because R3 used to be a Ripple partner from day one. Since 2018, they split ways, and XDC and R3 went more towards securities and commodities and stuff trading. Ripple went for payment. So they kind of went their separate ways, but it's all good. What we're looking at here is the 6 digital exchange. And it starts talking about a wholesale CBDC, which I believe is going to be the XDC crypto. The reason I say that is because here's this article right here. This article right here is from 2019. Talking about R3 and XDC and possibly seeing a $40,000 XDC crypto price right there. There's your evidence that Swiss Stock Exchange is to use R3 Corda. R3 Corda is like an XRP ledger, right? Now, what crypto is R3 Corda going to use is this one right here. Let me do a copy and a paste. It's going to use the XDC crypto that you need to get. Let me read the title here. R3 Corda platform set to go DeFi. Remember now, DeFi hasn't really hit yet, so that's why these crypto prices are cheap. So you better get your Flare, that's a DeFi, and get your XDC. You can buy those at my link at Caleb and Brown. But right here, R3 Corda is going to go with XDC. That's on CoinDesk. There you go. That's your evidence right there. Let me check the comment section real quick. And late, but always here, says MKP. Nomura. Nomura is a stock. Yes, it's a company. Okay, so let's go to the article again. It says in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the 7th paragraph, it talks about additionally the soon to launch 21X will trade digital securities against stablecoins on the Polygon network. Oh, so now we're talking about XDC and Polygon. Those are two cryptos. You can buy those at my Caleb and Brown sponsor link. And when we talk about Polygon, you have to talk about Stellar. So that's another crypto you can buy at Caleb Brown. So far in this program, you got 3 cryptos that we're discussing about. Why are we talking about these 3? Because these 3 are going to be the future of global trade, stock, bonds, derivatives, all that good stuff. All right. I got to have some electrolytes. Liquid IV, sugar-free. Whew, kind of tastes tart, like a lemon. Whew, God. Let's look here at the article I just sent you. It says Albridge. Did I send it? Let me look. CoinDesk, stellar.org. Yeah, Albridge. Okay. What we got going on here, we talk a lot about XRP. We just talked about Polygon. Now we're talking about Stellar. Stellar has something called Albridge. And what it does is it is a platform. It's a bridge. It connects Ethereum, Solana, Celo, and Polygon. Now there's Stellar, Ultra Stellar involved in this, and then Albridge. What I'm showing you is Stellar is going to connect the retail platform to trading for payments. Then you have XRP, the ledger, and the crypto. That's going to be for wholesale trading. And probably going to throw an XLR with that because Albridge is like the XLR to Stellar. So that's AXL. So it'll be like another crypto you'd want to probably get at Caleb and Brown. What I'm doing now is this. As I read articles to you, I'm identifying cryptos that are critical. These are not options. These are mandatory cryptos that I'm showing you that is going to get the future of finance moving all around the world, okay? Polygon is on the Albridge list here, okay? And lastly, to wrap this up, we're talking about global settlement, okay? What settlement is when you go in a stock market and buy shit, when that trade finally gets done, or if you sell and you finally get that money and all that stuff, that's settlement, okay? So the settlement of a trade is important. Let's look at the DTCC. This is so massive right here. I want to show you again. I've shown it before. I'm going to keep showing it. What is the DTCC? You have to understand what I'm talking about right now. Then you'll understand why these cryptos are so important. When you buy and sell stocks, bonds, derivatives, whatever, all around the world, they all settle through a company called the DTCC, Depositary Trust Clearing Corporation. There's 20 locations all around the world. What they do is monitor stock, bond, derivatives, and all these tradings going on and making sure it's all legitimate. The DTCC is managed by themselves. They self-govern themselves. Why? Because you can have a collapse of the world economy if shit gets fucked up. I'm trying to bring that down to street level, okay? So it's easy to understand. If you don't have people watching all the stock markets of the world, making sure all the trades are equal, people are going to get ripped off. Global trade gets destroyed. Countries go bankrupt and wars start, and then the end of the world as we know it happens. That's what happens when you fuck up people's money, okay? Go into a ghetto, or not a ghetto, go into any area where somebody's in control, like the mafia or whatever. If you mess with their money, if you go into another gangster's street or whatever, a block, neighborhood or whatever, if I go in and start saying, hey, I got cocaine, I'm going to sell this shit at, $5 a hit or whatever it is, right? I'm going to have all these people coming at me, and then all the criminals are going to find out who I am and try to take me out because I'm taking their money, right? So the other problem is this. Because I worked in law enforcement, so I'm giving you these examples. If there's a neighborhood and the people that are running that neighborhood, the family gets blasted or whatever, and they lose power, you're going to have all kinds of chaos because everybody else is going to run in from other blocks trying to take that block over. And there's going to be a lot of chaos going on, okay? Anytime you mess with people's money, it's going to cause a problem. So what the DTCC does, let me make sure my show, what the DTCC does is controls all the stock markets to make sure trades are settled correctly. That's basically what they do. They're in charge, I think, of 100,000 transactions per day. Gotta be more than that. Let me take a look. Let's look at their page right here. Yeah, 100,000 a day. The DTCC processes $100,000 transactions per day. The DTCC has selected what crypto platform? The R3 Corda. I just showed you the R3 Corda utilizes the XDC crypto. There you go right there. $3 quadrillion per year moves through the DTCC. If you take $3 quadrillion, divide it by all the XDC available, which is 37 billion, you come up with a number around $60,000 or $80,000 per XDC. Now, that's if everything settles. If every derivative, which is 3 quadrillion, is settled on the R3 Corda platform, just to be safe. And if everybody wants to move it all at once, you've got to have that liquidity ready to go. So you've got to have a $60,000 to $80,000 XDC. Now, let's say I'm 90% wrong. Okay. You're still looking at a $6,000 XDC. That's about 90% wrong. Okay. So there you have that. Wayne Williams, thank you very much for your comments here and your membership at the crypto explosion level. 15 months, late fee accumulated and donated. Oh, there it is. Wayne Williams, late fee done. Right on, man. Dryer Vent Solution Shop. I've been watching you for the last month, and I've been doing exactly what you are talking about. Thanks for the show. Well, my job is to... Yeah, XDC has a supply of 37 billion. And maybe they can make more and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. If the price is 80,000 with 37 billion, they could create more liquidity, and then it drops the price from 80,000 to 40,000, and they could create more. It could be 20,000, 10,000, 6,000, whatever it is. It's gonna be a lot of fucking money. Whatever it is, you can buy an XDC at like 6 or 7 or 8 cents, and it might end up being $6, $7, or $8,000. A pretty good fucking investment, if you ask me. Even if it never hits 60,000 or whatever, still, if it hits fucking $3,000 to $5,000, holy shit, right? So there you have that. If they create more, fine. Crypto Hulk has the good info, by Jove. Tether. How are we doing as far as time here? Show's half over. Okay. Tether. Let's get into Tether really quick and see what's going on with it. Now, Tether is linked. Here's the thing with Tether. People like Crypto Hulk is a stable coin. It's no big deal. Well, I want you to see what's the importance of Tether. Why are we going over Tether? Not because I want to buy it. Is because what does Tether do? Prop up Bitcoin. This is what got my video on TikTok strike. I got a strike on TikTok for just talking about this. They called it a scam. Oh, see, somebody's trying to protect TikTok. I mean, somebody's trying to protect Tether, and that's TikTok, okay? So, Tether may launch a new stablecoin if U.S. regulators push out Tether. Tether pictures a long-term reality in which USD Tether is not offered in either the United States or Europe. Okay, what is going on in this article? Basically, Tether is saying this. Oh, we are regulated, or we got 4 big accountants, and they're going to do. Okay, look, Tether's never been regulated or looked at all. So they're straight up lying. All these years, from what I understand, Tether prints a bunch of Tether, and they buy more Bitcoin with it. And then the Bitcoin price goes up. All this has been going on. Now what I'm seeing is Bitcoin is getting propped up now by the biggest corporations in the world. And what's funny to me is like, see, how our government's allowing this. Nobody knows who made Bitcoin. Let's just forget all the government stuff. Nobody knows who made Bitcoin. How is it allowed to be sold, right? If I made a crypto and I walked up to BlackRock and said, hey, I got this crypto and I want to sell it, but let's not tell anybody who made it. You know what they do? Call security to kick me off the building, file a trespassing complaint with the county they live in, and permanently have me banned on the property. For even just suggesting that I'm going to make a crypto, but let's sell it and not tell anybody. They would say, sir, that's not legal to be sold. My question now is, how is Bitcoin all of a sudden now on the stock market and shit like that? Where's the disclaimer? Like, what's the 800 number for Bitcoin? Who's the CEO? Who made it? Where's their office located? If I lose it, do I get a refund? Or if the whole system ends up, you see what I'm saying? So that's a scam right there. And I'm just shocked on how the United States has no crypto laws, no regulations. I mean, no crypto laws at all. So therefore, you can't make crypto regs unless you have laws. Bitcoin's been around since 2009. We have no crypto laws. Now, back to the article. So you got Tether talking all kinds of crazy. And, oh, yeah, we're a legitimate business and da-da-da. But nobody of any value has ever audited Tether and verified. All that Tether does, and we know this for a fact, is Tether prints Tether and then buys Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people are starting to ask questions. So Tether is not being regulated by anybody. Okay, Tether's not being regulated by any legitimate government that's worth a shit, okay? They operate out of El Salvador, where the biggest export for that country is like t-shirts and shorts or something, right? I mean, sweatshop clothes. So what's going on here at Tether is Tether says this. Tether is more designed for emerging markets, meaning Tether is going to go where markets are emerging and they need liquidity and da-da-da. What is that code for? We are going to go to countries that are broke, that have no other option. That's what is going on with Tether. Tether's going to try to make another stable coin and then maybe try to use that in the United States and then just use the original Tether overseas. I have no idea. What I do know is that Tether is a mess. It's not regulated, and it's a disaster waiting to happen, which will then do a lot of damage to Bitcoin, the price. Next article here is we're talking about Ripple going on Coinbase as a future. So this is, Danny Boy, member for 27 months. Thank you for all you do, Crypto Hulk. Got that right. It's a lot of work. But what I'm showing you is how everything is all connected and all these cryptos are coming together. Mark, thank you very much for the tax-free donation. Yeah, somebody says they'll never get it past the Euro regulators. Right, it's done. Tether's done. They have to come up with something else. You'll hear crypto people, I won't mention names, but crypto people like, oh yeah, Crypto Hulk doesn't know Tether. Here's all the evidence. This one nasty fat bitch, I call her Fat Grandma. I won't mention her name. She lives in Japan. She calls her name Eddie, but I won't mention anybody's channel. She's like, oh yeah, Tether's all regulated and they got all these things lined up. How's it looking? Like that. What I really think is she had Tether and she's trying to pump it up and then she dumped it. Because Tether's a hot pile of shit. It's been that way. All it does is pump up Bitcoin. It's all it does. It can never pass any regulation from any country besides maybe in El Salvador. We got dope dealing, cocaine, and T-shirts as their main economic. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, come up with something better than that, right? All right, so let's look at right here. You got Coinbase. Now, what's Coinbase going to do? They have a major XRP update. XRP has emerged as new retail favorite of this cycle. I want you to see what's going on. XRP is passing up Bitcoin. Nobody's wanting to buy that shit, except the only thing that's happening with Bitcoin is institutions are now controlling it, but common people, they're not buying that shit, okay? I'm going to show you the evidence for that. In a major development for XRP, Coinbase derivatives. Oh, now what did I say the derivatives market was? $3 quadrillion. Yeah, Coinbase trying to take a part of that money. Coinbase is going to offer U.S. Commodity Future Trading Commission XRP futures contracts. According to the post made by Coinbase Institutional on X, the exchange anticipates the XRP futures contracts to go live April 21. Well, shit, that's just about 14 days from now, right? 2 weeks from now. This move intends to provide investors with a regulated, capital-efficient way to obtain exposure to XRP, one of the most liquid digital assets on the crypto market. Coinbase Derivatives announced that it has submitted a self-certification application to the United States Commodities Future Trading Commission and plans to launch XRP futures contracts. The official expects that the contract will be launched April 21, 2025. Let me look down here. Each contract reflects XRP's price. It's settled in US dollars and represents 10,000 XRP, or approximately $20,000 at the current $2. So there's like what they call contracts. Now, right now, each contract has 10,000 XRP in it. And each XRP right now is $2 a piece. What happens one day when XRP is at $1,000? That each contract will go from being worth 20 grand to 2 million to 200. So that's how all this works. Now, it's interesting. I want to show you something. Traders will have flexibility with contracts available for the current month, as well as the next two. However, a safeguard will halt trading if XRP's spot price moves more than 10% within an hour. Very interesting. See what they're doing here is they're regulating the trading. So you can't have a whale come in and manipulate it. See, like right now, crypto is so fucking shady. That's the word. That's a good word. What happens in crypto is a whale comes in, manipulates the market, scares everybody out, dumps the price, and then the whale comes in, buys it all back. Okay? This is not going to happen in the real world, according to this, because when XRP price goes 10% up or 10% down, they stop trading right there. Ta-da! That's a regulated market where no dumb shit happens, okay? So I just wanted to let you know that XRP is going mainstream. It's all starting right now. Right now. Terrence McNamara. Nothing better than a Yuan Ling and a Cryptoholic podcast on a Saturday afternoon. You know, I agree. That's totally legit. We're watching all this go down right now. What we're talking about is the biggest. I'm not talking about people like you and me investing and, hey, Cryptoholic. No, we're not talking about dumb shit. We're talking about Coinbase. It's owned by who? BlackRock. Who is that? The biggest financial company in the entire world. We just got done talking about XRP and Stellar and all these in the trading and securities and the DTCC. You see what today's show is? It's all the biggest fucking players. Like, we're not talking about people like you and me spending your little $500 at Caleb Brown and shit. That's all. That's nothing at all. We're talking about companies coming in, buying $5 billion worth of crypto, setting up exchanges and derivatives exchanges and getting the whole world set up for trading. That's what I'm seeing is going on in the crypto news today. And the prices are cheap. Okay. Then guess what? You hear all this great news. You're hearing who the players are. On my program, you're seeing who the players are and what are they going to do. The price is cheap. Now, some people are like this. They hear the news from my show. They look at the price and nothing happens. Oh, I'm not buying it. And look what happens. And I tell more news and they look at the price. Oh, nothing's happening. I'm not buying it. And then guess what? One day a flip is switched. The switch is flipped. And these cryptos, I've been telling you, DTCC, they're using R3. I'm telling you. And these other people, oh, the price ain't moving. I'm not buying any. And then all of a sudden, one day, flip, they use it all. One day, all these exchanges get a green light. When these exchanges buy crypto, number one, they're probably given a block amount. So they get options to buy a crypto, 1 million XRPs at like $2. They aren't going to go on an exchange because the minute they start buying, the prices go up like that. They're gonna agree to a set price and then boom, like that, snatch them up. And then they'll be gone. Then the exchange prices will go up, will skyrocket right after that because the exchange won't be able to get it because there's no more liquidity. It's gone. The financial places bought it all up. That's how this works. Right now I'm showing you with real world examples So right now, what I'm showing you is real world examples on what the bigger corporations are doing. And I'm showing you what cryptos they're using or what cryptos they're going to use. And unfortunately, a lot of people that watch my show are like this. Well, I don't see the price going up. Meanwhile, time is moving. Time is moving. The door is slowly closing. And then one day, here's what the dummies will do. Well, prices still ain't going up. And as that door closes, they lock you out. Oh, these prices, there ain't nothing ever going to happen. Then all of a sudden they announce, we're going to use, just like the New York Stock Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange just announced they're going to use Circle in the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah. And guess what? All the other exchanges in the world are doing the same fucking thing. And that Circle price, Circle's using Stellar, that shit's going to skyrocket. But you hear this news and you look at the price now and it doesn't do anything. So what do? Your brain goes to sleep. And then one day when they flip that switch, oh shit. Yeah, Bank of America announces this. They're going to use Ripple or Polygon or whatever the fuck it is. And then 2, 3, 5, 10 cryptos just go up to like $100, $500. And all of a sudden now you're priced out. It's done. Then a week later, it's up at $5,000. You're like, fuck. I want to join that Caleb Brown. Oh shit, it's too late. I'm just letting you know how it goes. Get your account set up now with Caleb Brown. Be ready. Put $500 in there. Be ready to bust a move. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the XAI bots. Hide user. So that is what I've been seeing. Moderators, can you start deleting all these XIA bots, please? I mean, I've deleted 5 of them. I'm trying to do a show. I shouldn't have to do all this. Michael W., thank you very much. Moderators, can you start deleting the spammers on the channel? What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to delete spammers on the channel because I can't teach a show and eliminate spam. Yeah, boy, they are showing up. I just deleted 2 more right now. And there's another one right there, deleted. Okay. I'm deleting spam right now. Let's see here. Ooh, that's weird. We normally never get attacks like this on the show. We must be doing a good job. So yeah, that's why I have moderators. That's very rare for something like that to happen. That never, like once a year or twice a year, that shit happens on my show. But yeah, so moderators, just for like the next few minutes, just watch the comments for any of that XAI dumb shit or whatever. XAI 712. Yeah. Let's see. Moto J. Plaque vendor. All right. The Docomo, thank you very much for that late fee. Appreciate that. We're just in a little bit of a eliminate spam. Well, Michael W., thank you very much for that tax-free donation. I'm just going through getting the spam here. Okay. Next article. We got is Visa and MasterCard. I'm going to burn through this one. Again, notice how I'm bringing up Visa, MasterCard, American Express. All these big national companies are jumping in. Let me do a copy paste. Will Eski, thank you very much. It says they're coming in hot, Hulk. Keep doing your thing. Means you're on the target. YT sent I know it's all, this is all YouTube. Like all the spammer shit in the comments or whatever, all that shit is YouTube stuff. I believe they're the ones causing all that. So we have an article here. Visa, MasterCard, and that kind of thing. Let me do a copy and a paste. Again. Ink Slave says comment. So we have Visa, MasterCard. Here's the title. Visa, MasterCard have an edge over American Express for Apple. So what we got going on is this. You got Apple, and they have a card, a payment card. You got Goldman Sachs with it, okay? And it's like a credit card. And let me take a look here. So what's going on is Goldman Sachs made an agreement with Apple to be like the Apple Card financer. It just ain't going good. They're not making the money that they wanted to. I don't think anybody's happy. And this article is talking about who's going to take over, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Nobody seems to know. Now, one thing we do know is this. I've shown it before. You've got Visa is very much linked up with Ripple. Visa spent right here $250 million. Visa spent $250 million on Earthport, and this was done back in 2018. So we know that Visa loves Ripple and moving money around that way. We know also that in 2021, Visa spent $925 million on a Ripple partner as well. Golden Sun. Hello from A2, Michigan. Damn, bro, you're getting jammed up by the bots. Yeah, it happens. It's very rare if that happens. Kind of funny. So we got Visa acquires Ripple partner currency cloud for $925 million. So we know that Visa could very well take over the Apple Card. But let's also look here at MasterCard. They're also Ripple partners. Now, we know this Apple Card, we know all this is going to go to crypto. Okay. What Apple's got to do is figure out who's going to bring in crypto the best. Well, we got MasterCard partners with Ripple. Swipe your card to use XRP. So right there, MasterCard could then take over the Apple Card. But look here, American Express, they're also a Ripple partner. They just became partners. But it's been around for like 7 years. I don't have the other article with me, so I'm just showing you the latest one. But American Express got with Ripple like 7 years ago. Maybe more than that. So here's that article right there. Major news. American Express partners with Ripple. January 11th. This is a Binance page. I believe it's January 11th, meaning 2025. But American Express has announced a partnership with Ripple to enhance its international payment services by integrating Ripple's blockchain technology and the digital asset XRP. There you go. Now, let's look here at a video I did a few years back. I just wanted to show you how Apple is a Ripple partner, and so is Goldman Sachs. Look at this video here. Go to the 19-second mark. 19-second mark. What do we got here? Ripple Labs. This is 2014. 2014 says Ripple Labs meet the team. Apple right there, and there's Goldman Sachs right there. We got NASA, the New York Fed, and the national, not going to say security, not going to say agency. What are we looking at here? Now, this isn't an official. Ripple has these people as partners. Here's how Ripple works. If you don't know, I'm going to show you. Ripple is like a temp agency. People go from different places to work for Ripple. When a project's done, they leave. Somebody comes in, Ripple's at a next stage. Maybe the stage is they got to do tokenization. So Ripple starts hiring people to do different things. So the meet the team thing is people from Apple came in early to do a project with Ripple, and then they leave. And then people from Goldman Sachs were there in 2014. Somebody from Goldman Sachs would leave. Imagine this. You know how Rosie Rios right now? Rosie Rios used to be the treasurer of the United States. She quits and works for Ripple. Why? Because I believe Ripple is going to end up being in the treasury of the United States of America. Then you got Michael S. Barr. Michael S. Barr used to work for Ripple. Who does he work for now? The Federal Reserve. See what I'm talking about? So Ripple, when I show you that meet the team, nobody has that. Nobody on the internet has that except me. What that is I'm showing you a perfect example of how Ripple, when they need somebody, well, let's bring in Rosie Rios from the Treasury and have her help us get Ripple ready to be put into the United States Treasury. And then Michael S. Barr, I want you to go after the Federal Reserve later on. Then somebody from the Federal Reserve comes to work for Ripple. I mean, that's just how Ripple does it. So that is very interesting. I wanted to show you guys that example. Let me click out of that. Now, here's the next article. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve right now and Michael S. Barr. So here's your article about the Federal Reserve. Now, when the Federal Reserve first started with all this crypto stuff, they didn't want nothing to do with it, okay? Which was a total lie, but they just pretended. They pretended that crypto was bad, okay? Here's your article. Federal Reserve Governor, his name is Michael Barr. Bank he says this: bank fintech relationships will drive general artificial intelligence adoption. Bank fintech relationships are likely to drive integration of AI into the banking. So Michael HBAR, who used to work for the Federal Reserve, let me show you that article right now. Let's just have dessert before we have dinner. Here's the article here. Former crypto advisor Michael Barr confirmed as the top United States financial watchdog. This is from 2023. The Senate approved the appointment of Barr, ex-Ripple advisor who served in Obama's Treasury, as the Federal Reserve's new vice chair. Ladies and gentlemen, what is this? In 2013, the Federal Reserve had somebody in the number 2 spot. Now, who's in the number 1 spot? Jerome Powell. Who's in the number 2 spot? Former Ripple advisor Michael S. Barr, working at the Federal Reserve, number 2 in charge, ex-Ripple employee. Okay, now let's go back to the article. Here's the article here from April 4th. Michael S. Barr, number 2 at the Federal Reserve, tells people this: fintech and the banks are going to join together. He's telling us right now, okay? This is why I like to be where the banks are. I got the banker's coin. All these years, people call, oh, XRP, that's the banker's coin. Oh, it is? Okay, shit. I'm going to buy that shit then, okay? You got Michael S. Barr in charge, number 2 in charge of the Federal Reserve, the United States of America. That's a good feeling. He says, bank fintech relationships are likely to drive the integration of AI into banking. That's in the very first paragraph. Next, let's go to the second paragraph. The integration and innovation will be driven by both competition and cooperation. What are we talking about here? Name a crypto. I'm just telling you what, brand new people, you don't know the answer to this, but name a crypto that's only worked with banks for the whole time. I mean, that's XRP. There is no other crypto. I've been watching crypto for 5 years. There is no crypto that is integrated so much with banks than XRP and the XRP ledger. You can't tell me any other crypto has more relationships with banks than Ripple's XRP and Ripple, the company, the software company. There is no crypto company that is more heavily integrated into banks. Just not. That's what the number 2 guy at the Federal Reserve says. The integration and innovation will be driven by competition and cooperation. What I see, Ripple has the most cooperation from banks than anybody else. Next, go to the 7th paragraph. It starts off, the qualities of fintechs and banks mean that they may form collaborative partnerships, everybody, with fintech companies and banks that bring together their strengths, or they may compete in a way that drives banks to adopt AI applications more quickly, said Barr. Now, go to the last paragraph in this article. It says, the report also found that banks can drive innovation and facilitate artificial intelligence adoption by what? Forming alliances with fintech companies. Oh my God. Yep. Now let's talk about the oldest bank in America real quickly. The oldest bank, because we're talking about banks and we're talking about banks joining crypto, right? Okay. Well, what will we talk about is Ripple and BNY Mellon partner. When is this? 2024. September 2024. Ripple and BNY Mellon, America's oldest bank. What crypto do they work with now? XRP Ripple. Okay. Who's number 2 at the Federal Reserve? An employee from XRP Ripple. The Treasurer of the United States. Who does she work for now? XRP Ripple. We can go on and on. I could develop a list and just keep reading off that fucking list. Okay. Michael W., thank you very much, says you're underpaid, sir. Well, one day I'm trying to teach everybody that all of us will be overpaid. All right. I think that'll about do it. Again, make sure set up your playlist of 10 crypto videos of mine when this show's over and hit play. Turn the sound off. I'd appreciate that. And I don't think I'm going to make another show today. I want to do something. I want to go somewhere just for a couple hours and drive around Reno, maybe go someplace and get something to eat. And but I will make a show for tomorrow morning. I will study tonight and have a show ready for the morning because I got to go to Sacramento tomorrow and I won't have time to do a PM show on Sunday. Right now it's Saturday, but tomorrow's Sunday. I won't have time for a PM. So I'm going to work tonight to have an AM show ready for Sunday. So anyhow, I'm going to take 4 or 5 hours off. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours, and then come back home and find news and put together a show. And there you have it. So I'll see y'all later and take care. Adios.